So this is a miner's candle, which is also called a Tommy pick or a Johnny pick, that would light the miner's way in the mine. So it was carried by this loop and then hammered by that same loop with this spike going like into the side of the wall. This curve here was used like over the rung of a chair so that the candle would tip out. And the wax would drip off to the side, or possibly hung on the ledge of the mine, is my understanding.
First, cut a 10-inch piece of 3/4 by 1/4-inch steel flat bar. Lay out the center of your piece, drawing a line that is about 2 inches long. Measure 1 inch down from the end of your stalk and lay out a 45-degree angle that starts from the outside edge of your piece. Measure 1 inch down from where the 45-degree angle meets the center line and mark this with a center punch. Cut in towards the center of your piece along your 45-degree angle measurement. You can use a hacksaw or an upright bandsaw. Cold chisel a registration mark along the center line, starting from the end of your 45-degree angled cut and ending at your center punch mark. Next, take your piece to the forge. Use a hot chisel to cut through your material, remembering to protect the face of your anvil. Secure the piece in a vise and use your chisel to pry apart your two sections. Use the edge of the anvil to spread the material far enough apart to be able to clean this area up with a file once it is cooled. Forge the larger section into a long, square taper, being careful to focus your blows on the thickest part so you don't thin out the material closer to where the two parts split. Forge out the smaller section into a square taper. I hold back from forging these tapers to their finished dimensions until later to avoid cracks and stress from repetitive heats. At the other end of your material, create a shoulder that's 2 inches from the end, using half-face blows. Try to remember the shoulder should be along the side of your piece that the smaller taper peels off from. This 2-inch section will become the candle cup. The smaller taper will become the small loop off to the side of the candle holder, and the larger taper will become the pointed end of the candle holder. Forge the material between the candle cup and tapers into somewhere around 3/8 square, making sure to address the area you left a little thicker when forging your tapers. Refine any forging on the tapers, and you can forge them into round or just softeny edges. Straighten the longest taper so it is in line with the rest of the candle holder. A half-faced blow at the edge of the anvil here can help with the alignment if you're having trouble. Spread the material for the candle cup into a rectangular shape that is 3 inches in length. Curve the candle cup over the end of the anvil using glancing blows to close the loop. Clean up the curves using a piece of round stock held in a vise. Create the large bend of the candle holder using a wooden mallet so that the candle cup lines up with the smallest taper. Refine this shape using the horn and a rounded hammer. Bend the smallest taper into a loop. Use your vise and selective heats to make sure every component is in line so that it will sit flat on a surface. For finishing, I am using flaxseed oil and beeswax. First, remove the scale if you wish by sandblasting or soaking the piece in vinegar overnight and using a Scotch-Brite pad to remove loosened scale. After you have removed the scale, heat the piece up to a uniform dull red, remembering that you don't want it to scale again. Let it cool long enough that when you apply your oil, it doesn't burn, which creates a lot of smoke and a brownish-green color on your piece. It might be too hot to the touch, so hold your piece with a rag while you apply the oil, and when it's still warm, seal with a coating of beeswax. Let cool and buff with a clean cloth to remove any waxy residue.